What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome back to the Concealed Journey. Thanks for checking us out. I'm Corey.
And I'm Demrick.
And this is our Get Home Bag Dump. So we're gonna split this up into two parts. I'm gonna dump out my get home bag, and then Demrick's gonna dump out his get home bag. And why do we carry a get home bag? It is essentially for us to be able exactly that, get home. We're not bugging out anywhere with these. If I'm traveling, this bag's coming with me. If I'm going anywhere like further than 10 miles from home, or if I'm staying overnight somewhere, I travel a lot for work, so this stays in my pickup with me. And to clarify, this is my EDC bag. So this has first aid kit, water bottle, an extra firearm in here with some mags, your simple stuff that I use every day. I'm not gonna unpack this one. It's got a Defender plate in it. This is the Vertex bag. We love these things, but the get home bag is for, you can't judge any scenarios I make up in my mind. You can make up your scenarios in your mind, but if there's a solar storm or an EMP, I have to hoof it home. I want water filters, I want food, I want to be able to get home to my family no matter what. I also carry with me my plates, my rifle comes with me, my war belt, that's in a different bag. Don't need to cover that stuff, but I really just wanted to dump this bag out and give you guys a glimpse to why we have this. It's something simple. I didn't used to travel with this until I started thinking, if I had to get home, what would I need to get home? And then I even started thinking, living in North Dakota, what if there's a storm that I'm driving into, I slide off into the ditch, which happens quite a bit with other drivers. I try to be safe and in four-wheel drive, but no, that's besides the point. But if I got to sit in a ditch in a snowstorm, emergency services can't get to me, a tow truck can't get to me, I got to sit there for 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 a day, however many hours a storm's going on. I want to be able to have food, I want to be able to have some water that's not frozen, and I want to be able to stay warm, so I've got hand warmers and all that kind of stuff in this bag. But let's dump this out. We're going to do this off the cuff and just shoot for it. First off, I've got a giant brick to charge my phone with, so I can be able to make calls and whatever I need. If my truck doesn't run, say I can't run that, I can still charge my phone and keep that up and good to go. This will charge my phone up to 6 times, so that's a great one to have and keep with you. I've got, of course, that's what I love about these Vertex bags. I can keep my AR pistol in here. So this comes with me wherever. I've got some extra spare mags as well in my plate carrier, of course. So this is coming with me. It's not loaded. I don't keep it loaded in my pack because I don't have a trigger guard for it or anything, but this is quick and accessible and easy to get to. Undo the top pocket real quick here. Got a spare watch. I wear a watch every day, but this one broke. The time still works. Thought it was just good to throw in there. You can't judge it. Toilet paper, obviously worth more than I paid for it now, but these are great things to have. They're small, they're tight, they're wound up. I also carry some baby wipes because I got a kid. That's in my everyday bag. Those are great for lots of different scenarios. Got tons of glow sticks, because I don't want to be using the flashlight if it's dark and throw myself and people can see me from a mile away because it's dark and I got a flashlight going. So glow sticks are perfect for those scenarios. I keep an extra radio, Baofeng, in my bag. I also, you see how loud that is? On my plate carriers, I've got an earpiece so I can listen to weather, emergency services, those kinds of things. But I carry an extra one because if I'm traveling with my wife or my kid and I want them to stay back while I go investigate maybe something that's happening in front of us, I have a way to communicate with them whether it's safe or not. So I got an extra radio, extra battery in there for that. I got, a Bic lighter. And then this is one of my favorite things, a ferro rod. If I can open it here, you'll see that in a second. Got a whistle in here so I can alert anything that I need for. Got a bunch of clips for that. Let's see, nothing in this pocket. Dump out the side pockets here. Couple of rain ponchos. These are lightweight, obviously keep you dry. Keep an extra knife in here, and it's got paracord on it for whatever reasons. Got to eat, animals, won't go into the details of that because we don't need to talk about that right now. I got a multi-tool in here. It has just extra pocket knife, multi-tool, stuff like that. It's just something simple. Had laying around the house. Thought it'd be good for the bag. What else we got? 2 emergency blankets. Great for keeping warm, great for signaling if you have to do that as well. One side's black, one side is reflective. That's that pocket. Let's flip around to this pocket. A couple of big black trash bags. These are great also for laying down on the ground, sleeping on. I mean, there's just so many different purposes you can use for these things. Keep you warm, stuff them in your pockets, all that kind of stuff. Giant thing of paracord for whatever, hanging my hammock up, doing all kinds of different things in that. That pocket's empty. What else is in here? Water filter. These are essential. I'm fortunate enough to where I travel for work, it's right along the river, and so this works great for being able to get some filtered water without having to carry a bunch of water and weight around with me. It's got the straw, it's got the suction, it's got the bag, it's got the filter itself. These are made by Sawyer. It's a Sawyer Mini. You get these at Walmart. They're really inexpensive, great things to have. We keep a couple around the house. I also keep things like water bottles in my doors of my truck. I take with me a gallon of water in a stainless container so it won't freeze overnight. That sits in the back of my truck, so at least I've got a head start on getting some water and those kinds of things. A couple of, this is an extra bag. It's a dry bag. That my kid can carry or my wife can carry. She's got her own get-home bag. It's got winter clothes in it, but this is just an extra waterproof bag that we've got. Some handkerchiefs. You never know. This stuff burns well. This stuff, I mean, it can conceal, like all these different things. It's just great to have those in there. I won't pull all of these out, but I've got about 5 of these emergency food ration bars. They're 2,400 calories. It's like apple cinnamon. These were a 5-year shelf life, and I think they were $5 at Walmart. So that's a really smoking deal to have these. I did try them. They're not terrible, but they're not my favorite either. But in emergencies, I don't care. I think I keep 4 or 5 of these in my bag. I keep 4 or 5 more in my wife's get-home bag as well. This is one, of course. Got to cut firewood, you got to do whatever, zombies, you never know. This is just a solid lightweight tool to keep in my bag. Really inexpensive, mossy oak. I got it at Ace Hardware, I think for $10 or $12 or something like that. But just nice having a blade that I can cut up some firewood with, that zombies coming at me. I mean, it's, you know, anyways. What else do I got in here? Dump it out. I think that is about it. These usually have mags in them, but I was using the mags over the range over the weekend. Obviously didn't fill my backpack back up. So that is the get home bag. I do have a Defender plate in here as well, just for some extra protection coming from the back side if anything was to happen. I do carry in my truck also a stroller for my kid because I don't expect her to walk 77 miles home from where I work. So I have a stroller that I can put stuff in, I can put her in, be able to push her. We also carry a wagon as well. If my wife and my kid and I all have to get home for whatever situation, we've got one of those collapsing wagons we can throw our stuff in, we can travel with, and that way just being able to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more mobile in those situations, more flexible. I don't want to have my backpack on me with all this gear, with my plates, with my rifle, hoofing it through, and there's a situation I got to get to, but I got all this gear on and I'm not mobile enough. I want to be able to be more flexible. So we kind of started doing that to be able to just be more flexible for my, you know, this stuff's in a wagon or something, I can ditch it, get into a threat of a situation, whatever it might be. And yeah, so this is the get home bag. This is the dump of all this stuff. Demrick's going to show you his.
So first off, just starting with the top, I've got my ear protection just because I bring this bag with me everywhere I go. And, you know, I like to shoot a lot. If I can get this thing off. There we go. These are just walkers. They're pretty nice. Picked them up at Shields. You can get them at any sporting goods store, really. Generally, I like to keep a nice windbreaker around the outside of my bag. This is pretty good at deflecting water as well. And if it's raining or whatever, I can throw it on and it offers a little bit more protection from the elements. I just kind of wrap the the sleeves through the back side here, and then I can just take the whole thing off. It's pretty nice. Got it as a gift actually from the lucrative Damien Hauser. On the outside of my bag here, I have a gas mask. This is actually a CBRN mask, so it protects against chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear. I also have some spare canisters that I keep nearby just in case, you know, with coronavirus, you never know, right? I keep a medical kit on the exterior of my bag as well. I actually just had to use this because Damien sent a staple through my finger when we were at instructor training. So that was fantastic. I keep my sleeping bag. It's rated to 20 degrees. Gets cold up here in the Great White North. So I've got this just bungee strapped to the bottom of the bag. It stays on there pretty well. On this side, I have my Camillus. It's a pretty nice blade. It's got a saw on one side and a really good blade on the other side. You can use it as a pry bar if need be. I've actually chopped down full-blown trees, not full-blown trees, you know, a couple inches in diameter, I suppose. With this thing, it's great. I should probably have a hatchet, but this is a pretty dang good alternative. On the other side, I have my drop leg holster. We got these from Tier 1 Concealed. They are fantastic rigs. I would recommend if you're looking for a drop leg holster. You can also get, I just have a retention one, friction retention. You can get different hoods and straps, different levels of retention with these. They're pretty great. We'll go ahead and open the outermost pocket. I have a Maglula, which is for loading 5.56 magazines. I guess you could probably use it for other magazines. I've never tried it. I only own AR-15s. I guess I got a couple other ones, but I have a headlamp in here. This is just an Energizer one. I picked this up, maybe it was $10, $7 or something like that a couple of years ago when I put this bag together. It's always good to have a headlamp because you don't want to be holding a flashlight and fumbling around with something if you're trying to get a fire going or something along those lines. I also have some 22 Stinger ammunition in here. I got it wrapped up in electrical tape because 22s are one of the most common household guns to have around. You could either find a firearm or ammunition itself, and I do have a spare 22 in here. I keep this handy little device. It's a wine/bottle opener, just in case you want to have a little party on the way home. I think that's it for the outside pocket. On this first one, I have my Ruger SR22, which I will go ahead and make clear right now. I carry this around just as a backup gun. Obviously, I've got my carbine with me in my vehicle wherever I go, and I have my primary handgun, which I normally carry concealed, and that's a Glock 19 with a Polymer 80 lower. But it's always good to have just a secondary handgun, just in case. Like I said, you can come across 22 ammunition pretty much anywhere, and if I want to be a little quieter, I can do that. Or if, for example, I'm really far away from home and I find someone that I trust to walk with me, we're going the same direction, it's better to give that person a firearm because I can't operate 3 at the same time. Just doesn't make any sense. So in this first aid kit, I actually have batteries. I should definitely go forward and like cross that out or put some tape over it or something. But I keep some of these batteries. These actually go in the flashlight of my carbine. I have some AAAs, which Damien used a bunch of when we were done at instructor training, so that was fantastic. And then I've got a bunch of AAs as well. You never know what you need these batteries for. It's a good idea to keep some around because, like, for example, your headlamp could die, or if you have some secondary flashlight or whatever the case, it's good to keep those on hand. I keep a pair of wire cutters just for like really simple padlocks, really, really bad bike locks or something like that, or chain link fences if you really want to get after it, I suppose. Cutting wire of any kind, those come in handy. I have a crescent wrench in here because I have a suppressor on my carbine, and if for whatever reason I need to remove it, it's good to have this tool along with. It's heavy and it takes up some weight, which is sort of inconvenient, but one of those necessary evils. I also have just an Ozark Trail, I think this is. Yep, Ozark Trail, just a multi-tool. I keep a Leatherman on my person, but for whatever reason I lose that thing, or someone needs a spare one, I've got this one as a backup. I have 30-pound fishing line as well. I picked this up at our local sporting goods store, Scheels. I don't even remember how much it cost, but if you need to, you can make twine traps out of this and trap rabbits, or you can set larger traps for larger prey. We're not going to get into that though. I keep duct tape. Everybody's got to have duct tape, right? Necessary, absolutely necessary. I don't even need to list the reasons why. You know. See what else I can dig in this bag and find. I might come out losing a finger. I have an extra battery for my radio. Probably should have pulled that out first for context. I have a Baofeng radio here, and it was left on, of course, so this thing's totally dead. Good thing I've got the spare battery along. I've got another battery in here because communication is incredibly important, and we've got some radio guys that we know, and intel is one of the more important things you're going to deal with, and if you can maybe hear what's further down the road from you, get some information on what's happening. You don't even have to necessarily key it yourself, but it's a wonderful information gathering tool. Looks like that's that for that area. I have some teeny tiny itty bitty little glow sticks just to mark a trail or something along those lines. If someone's following behind me a little bit, I can snap these and throw it in the snow or on the ground, and it's not going to be super obvious to someone who doesn't know that I'm there. I really would like to get some better ones like Corey has. Those are pretty nice. Maybe he can give me a hookup on where to get those at. But these are the ones I have with me for right now. I think they're just like the regular ones you get at Halloween for like $1 for 10 or something. I keep a spare carabiner with me just in case I need to use it for you tie some paracord through this and rig something up. It's just always convenient. Or you can put it around your belt loop and carry something in there. Whatever you got to do, it's just nice to have around. I have a knife sharpening tool for sharpening knives. I have these really interesting things here. These are actually reusable zip ties. They're not really zip ties per se because they don't zip, but you can put them around something like this, and then you just lock them in place. You just bend the metal like that, and that holds it in place. Pretty convenient things. I actually got these from a family member of mine, and then when you are done using them, you just put them back into whatever normal position you want them to be in. I store them halved like this, just because it's more convenient for packing them in. I have a pocket constitution because everybody should know their rights. Everybody. I think we're clear on that pocket. Let's move on to the next one. I have spare magazines for my primary pistol. These are just regular Glock magazines with Taran Tactical +5 base plates on them because yay Taran Tactical. I keep this also on a double mag caddy, so if for whatever reason things start to go awry, and I've got time, of course, I can dig in my bag and just throw this on my belt, throw my plates on as well, and I'm ready, set, and good to go. I keep an extra pair of socks in here as well, which I would recommend everybody does. Got some lint on there. I know that I wasn't in the Marine Corps, I didn't serve, but I appreciate every single person that has served our country, of course. My uncle was in the Marine Corps, and he said that when they went on their long hikes, every couple of miles they would stop and change socks. So if you're going to be hiking a long way, if your vehicle's down for whatever reason, spare pair of socks, great idea. I have this interesting thing that I picked up at Walmart. I think it actually folds out. It doesn't really fold, I guess. You take this end piece off, and then you get this other side here. It's all full of charcoal right now. But you have these little rods in here that you can put across in here, and you can actually make a little stovetop with it. I've used it, as you can see, it's dirty. I've used it dozens and dozens of times. Just going camping, it's nice to have a little cooking location. Pretty convenient, and it packs down really nicely. It is sort of heavy, and ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain, that whole thing, but I don't have a cast iron pan that I can just set on coals. It's convenient to have that. I have the exact same system that Corey has, which is pretty cool. In this bag, I also have some toilet paper, because that's about as necessary as a gun or duct tape. And then I have in here some toothpaste and a toothbrush, because if for whatever reason I'm planning a day trip and it's only so far away, I can still brush my teeth because no one likes to have gross, icky teeth. I also keep in here Airborne vitamin C immune support, because if you're going to be walking along the road and in North Dakota it gets really cold, you want to have a solid immune system, because if you get sick, that's just one more problem that you're going to have in your way. In here I also keep a shema. You can wrap it in a bunch of different ways if you want. You can use it as a scarf, you can use it over your head. If it's in the summertime, you can put it over your head to block out the sun if you need to. Pretty convenient. I like to have it in here. You could also use it as a mask if for whatever reason you get it wet, and put it over your face if there's smoke so you can avoid smoke inhalation. I keep my spare .30 caliber suppressor in here, Rebel silencers, yay to them. If you don't have a whole lot of money, they're a solid company to go through. I think they're still working on getting their suppressor manufacturing back up and running, but they're good stuff. I do have a suppressor on my primary carbine, as I said before, but I keep this one with me just in case for whatever reason I come across another person that has a rifle and they don't have a suppressor. Better to be quiet, right? Make love loud, make war quietly. In this little Yeti can here, I have my fire starting equipment. It's pretty convenient because I could potentially put water in here and boil it if need be. I know it's not a whole lot, and I do have my other water purification system, but it's just nice to have this. In here I have towelettes. I'm not exactly sure how big they get up to, but they're just these little pill things. They're compressed, and you get them wet and then they expand, and you can use them to wipe yourself down if necessary. And I've got them in this little, I think it was originally for matches, but this is, it's got an O-ring on here so it keeps it nice and watertight. Pretty convenient. Got a lighter. It works. I have a little fork and spoon. It's a little CRKT. I think this actually came with one of my bags. Pretty convenient to have just because you don't necessarily want to be eating with your fingers because they're dirty. I have some matches in here because you want multiple fire starting systems. I have chapstick because in the winter your lips can get dry. Also, not sure if everybody's aware of this, you can actually eat chapstick and gain some nutritional value from it. That's a last resort. I also have a ferro rod. It's less cool than Corey's, but it still functions in a similar manner. I also have a little bag in here just in case I need to throw something into and carry it and I don't want to put it in my big bag. It's nice to have spare bags. This is just a bag that I got from a family member. It's nothing special, just a little drawstring bag. In here I also have a sterno, so you can take this off, light the wick, and if you're in a tent, for example, it'll keep you warm all night long. It provides enough heat to do that. I think that pretty much wraps up my bag. I guess the only thing I could maybe add is this does have a bladder in it, so if I wanted to I could filter water and then put it in the bladder, and then there's a straw that comes down. I don't actually have it out right now, I've just got it tucked in, but I could still get water while I'm walking down the road for hydration, because hydration is important. Hydrate or die. I think that's about it. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, please leave a like. If you didn't enjoy the video, I guess leave a dislike. Consider subscribing. It doesn't cost a dime and really helps the channel out. Otherwise, thank you for joining us here at The Concealed Journey.